Welcome back, subscribers, and hello YouTube viewers. On this occasion we're off to a fortified church. It is abandoned and it's called St Bartholomew's Church. Now I'm in the township of Petrčane, I think that's how you pronounce it, or Petrčane. It's one of the two. We're not too far away from Zadar, so we're more to the northwest of Zadar along the coastline. It is a tourist area. It's got lovely beaches. There's also a few vineyards in the area, and it's sort of more known for its horticultural sort of makeup in relation to the land. However, as I swing around behind me, it is also very much a, I'd call it, I'm not sure what I'd call it, it's like a beach sort of holiday sort of place you'd go to. It's probably more of a destination where you'd come for swimming and a lot of the water sports. But the goal here is obviously to have a look at the church. I'm hoping I've got it in the background behind me, and this area is also just covered by olive groves and olive trees and all things olives. So we'll have a look around, and I'm quite curious to see this this fortified church that's by the name of St Bartholomew's. Supposedly it was built in the medieval periods. The 12th or 13th century is what's sort of stated, but it's pointless me babbling on. Let's go have a look, and I should be able to get the drone up. It is a Sunday morning, so there's no one about, and on my way here I can say that the Croatians are very much church-going people, because I can see them in their best attire and coming and going from a number of churches along my trip from Zadar to this location, which is only about a 20-minute drive. So hopefully this will give you an idea of where I actually am, and this looks like a very modern sort of a restaurant location. There are quite a number of buildings being built in the immediate area, so it is very much a beach destination for locals to come and for tourism. And as we can see, if we follow the beach line, I'm pretty sure there is a path that will take us to this fortified St Bartholomew's Church. So as we can see, the water is very clear. I've not come across any sort of areas along the Croatian coast where you cannot see the bottom of the seabed up to about 3 or 4 meters deep. It is absolutely crystal clear. I can say that I'm not used to seeing stones as where one would lie on the beach. I'm used to seeing sand, be it white sand or that sort of light coloured sort of yellow sand, if that's the word to use. But stones and pebbles, I'm not sure how they do it. You'd have to wear something more than just thongs, but that's something that if you're born in the area and this is what you have, you wouldn't know any better. But I do prefer the sandy beaches of the area. Here's a young lady going for a walk, but it's just lovely. Once again, in the distance, numerous islands that one could travel to. As I've said probably on numerous occasions, sometimes you can make your way to the island, sometimes you do need to catch a ferry, and the ferries will put your car on it because some of these islands are quite large in size. But once again, the fortified church that we're looking for is just beyond those trees. So this is the path that we take. It's a dedicated path to this fortified St Bartholomew's Church. It's from the beach. You can't miss it if you're coming out this way or live in the area. It's not all that difficult to get here. So here we are making our way to this church. Not sure what this is all about, but something's being bulldozed by someone for some reason. Now I'm not sure if this is the entry point, but this is definitely one of the walls to the fortified church. And as we get closer, we'll get a much better view. I think once we get the drone up, the drone will show us a lot more. Bit of a peek in some of these holes. Okay. It's going to be a bit of a step to get up. Not sure if this is the way to get up, but we'll give it our best shot. Okay. So this is some opening on where I am. Not sure what it's all about yet, but I think a bird's eye view will probably give us a much better idea on how to have a good look around. Now there is a board that will get someone up and down. Now whether or not I'm going to risk it for the biscuit, yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see. So this is that tower piece we see from the beach. And as you can see, I noticed that when we're coming up the path was quite distinctive, but to actually get to the church, it's been totally overgrown, and you could walk right past where the little turn off is for the church. So it does appear that there's a lack of interest with this historical site. Okay. We'll have a look around at a different angle. So we have been able to make our way down. That bit of plank of wood is quite sturdy, so that's okay. Looks like people have had fires here. Not sure, maybe the local kids during the summer period have made their way here to cause a bit of trouble, I guess. Now I'd say this is probably the church proper. But how terrific is this? There's another opening there, the stairs that I walked up. I suppose I could come through there on my way out. But there you have it. Yeah, I'd say what we're looking at right here is the actual altar to the church. And I'd imagine that little light there during the time of the day would shine down on where the crucifix would have been placed to give it an extra holy effect. So if I was to turn around, the priest, if that was his title, would give his sermons from here, and where he's, not sure I guess if it's called a church, it's where people came to pray, to do baptisms and funerals and weddings. I don't think it's a place where you would learn to be a priest, but I'm not 100% sure either with making that statement. I'm just surmising that could be the case. As we can see, the walls are quite cracked, and there would have been a number of floors here. You can see all the little holes where there would have been some track or flooring for each floor. This is quite spectacular. I'm glad I came out this way. It's very surprising. I didn't expect to actually see a church itself, and the roof is quite sound. It is damp, but not wet under feet. It has been raining today, or last night I should say. So if there was going to be any rain in here, I would have noticed it immediately. Okay. So we did make it up, make it down, so we're now going to make it up. So here we are on the other side of the church, and there we see the red and white checkers And we'll see if we can walk through here. Once again, there's no path here. There's walls here, but I'm thinking the walls, the stone walls were put here. I'm not really sure. I know there's some properties right next door that are vineyards, or not vineyards, they're olive trees. So I do notice that a lot of the property owners will use stone because it's abundant. It's just everywhere. The abundance of stones is never ending, and they are being used to create barriers. So here's the back end. This is where we came through to have a look at the church interior, or what's left to it. And as you can see, as I turn around, it's just a wall of shrubbery and trees and vines. And just beyond that is, as I probably mentioned, the olive trees where people are coming to collect olives. If I just go over here, you can see that it really is a mission impossible to get to this church. You can see it from the distance. The path appears to be initially quite easy to follow, and then it ends up being a path that no one can actually see, and it's really pot luck whether or not you'll find it. But if you keep your head up and keep your eye on the tower, you'll be able to follow it around. And just bear in mind, some of the trees do have like little thorns on them, so having a long sleeve jacket of sorts is of benefit. So here we are at this angle, so you can't even walk around the church itself. You're just blocked off with ferns. Thus we will call it abandoned. Okay, now I've got to try to make my way back to the track that does appear to be a lot more travelled than this less travelled path, and you've got to scooch down to get around, and it's just the way it is. But I'm glad I made the effort. So this is quite an old church, and it did have a commanding view of the Adriatic Sea from this location, and I'd imagine this was abandoned quite some time ago, as this is now I have to also mention that there are two areas of this town I'm at. One's got all the shops, very heavily populated to a certain degree, and this is like a little cove where it's an up and coming sort of tourist location. So as you can see, the path that I showed you earlier was pretty good. Then it ends up like this, and if you miss the turn off, which is very easy to do, you will not find this church. Okay, enough of that. Let's see if I can get the drone up. Should be good. Okay, so I have been up to do a little bit of research, and this is what we've discovered. So the Church of St Bartholomew originates from the 12th or 13th century and was built in the Romanesque style as a fortified church. The church was a single nave building with a barrel vault and a semicircular apse. It had 11 metres high bell tower and the fortress at the front. Remains of the wall paintings are still on the walls. The hamlet of Bartul, which used to be located by the sea southeast of this location, was named after the Church of St Bartholomew. The church fortress was later, in the 19th century, turned into a residential building, popularly known as Kulina. So that's it about the information I was able to discover, so please enjoy the aerial view of this fortified church known as St Bartholomew. So here we are at the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. The fortified St Bartholomew's Church. It is abandoned. There's no question about that. It's quite difficult to get there. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, by all means, click on that like button or that thumbs up icon. Please consider subscribing. Subscribing does not cost you 1 cent, but it helps out the channel immensely. But most importantly, stay safe, commute safe, and have a great day. I'll just add that there's a lot of places like this along the coastline where you've got these old abandoned churches. There's probably just too many to rescue or convert into some sort of tourist attraction. But it is what it is, so I hope you enjoyed it.